We have a bunch of stuff to go through here in today's video. I mainly want to focus on Cold War Zombies, how many more round-based DLC maps we're going to be seeing, Zombie Chronicle 2 maps, a Year 2 season for Cold War Zombies that extends into 2022, and all of that good stuff here, how it could integrate with Call of Duty 2021. So a lot of interesting stuff here for DLC maps for Cold War Zombies. I want to thank you guys. We are only 50 subs away from 75k, and once we hit 75k, that means we're 25k away from 100,000 subs. So I can't thank you guys enough for the support. If you're new, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate it, guys. If you can leave a like on the video, if we can go for 800 likes, that'd be sick as well. Just a quick reminder for Black Ops Cold War, coming tomorrow, Thursday, May 6th, we have the Carve 2 Tactical Rifle, Yamantau and Diesel 24/7 party games playlist with prop hunt, gun game, sticks and stones, new prop hunt maps, Yamantau and Diesel, gunfight blueprints, and a bunch of other stuff coming tomorrow. Now, yesterday here, we got the reveal or the announcement that Call of Duty 2021 is being developed by Sledgehammer. It's built for next gen, campaign, multiplayer, co-op modes, will integrate with Warzone, reveals coming soon, and it will release on time in the fall. Now, this isn't a Call of Duty 2021 video, but I do want to mention here that Call of Duty 2021 could hold off on zombies in favor for a Cold War Zombies Year 2 season. And this entire video, we're going to talk about Treyarch Zombies, Cold War Year 2, and how that makes more sense to see zombies in Cold War instead of in Call of Duty 2021. So let's skip over here. Let's talk about what maps we could be seeing after Berlin. We know we're getting Berlin, but a lot of people are saying that could be the last round-based zombies map in this game, which again, really does suck. I want to be optimistic here, and we're going to take all of the evidence for extra round-based maps coming to the game. The first thing here, the biggest evidence we have for anything is Zombie Chronicles 2.0. And I know these are remade maps. We'll talk about original new maps in a second, but we do have evidence here for the Tranzit, Die Rise, and Buried remakes being added to Cold War Zombies. If you guys didn't know, back in Black Ops 4, we were supposed to get a Year 2 season of that game, and we were supposed to get 4 extra zombie maps added, and it was originally intended for the Chaos storyline to have 4 total DLC maps in the first year, and then the second year was going to be 4 Ether maps, maybe even more than 4 Ether maps. And obviously that did not happen. Halfway through BO4's season, the 2 last Chaos maps got scrapped, and clearly at the end of Ancient Evil, if you guys didn't play that map, it ended rather abruptly, and a lot of people who did love the Chaos storyline said that it was just getting good at Ancient Evil, and the storyline just ended because they had to scrap those extra maps because they had to work on Black Ops Cold War instead, and overall, the Chaos storyline wasn't too popular with the community. Now, if we did end up getting the 4 Chaos maps in Year 1, Year 2 would have been the other Ether map remakes, Alpha Omega, which was Nuketown, Tactor Toten, which is the remake of Call of the Dead, a Transit remake, Die Rise remake, and a Buried remake, and now it makes perfect sense for the rest of these remakes to be ported over to Cold War Zombies. They already released the Nuketown remake, the Call of the Dead remake, but the remakes left over, Buried, Die Rise, Transit, are still there, and we did have recent info from leaker Call of Duty Hope that said that these maps were in fact being ported over to Cold War Zombies. These maps back in Black Ops 4 were said to be completely finished. There were playtesters leaking that they were playing early versions of these maps, and it was also said that these maps were even made and planned even before a bunch of the original BO4 zombie maps. It seems like right after Black Ops 3's Zombie Chronicles, they started working on BO4, and they started working first on these other remade maps. These are done. As far as we know, all they need to do is port them over to the game, make them make sense on the Cold War Zombies engine, make sure there are no bugs, but that's pretty much it here. So again, these are the most likely maps to see in terms of extra round-based zombie maps added to Cold War Zombies. Now, are we getting more original maps now? There isn't too much evidence for that. I mean, we did have a bunch of different map teasers in Firebase Z. We had these huge maps, all different locations of different outbreak zones all across the world. A lot of these are actually Onslaught locations. We did find a New York map, the 5 boroughs of New York. They pinpoint on that for some weird reason. Maybe again, that's referring to some type of New York location for a main zombies map coming to the future. future. There was also other previous Cold War Zombies intel that was referring to people going to New York for some reason. Again, the explanation as to why we're going to New York, we really don't know, but it definitely could be an original map location. But other than that, we don't know exactly where the storyline is heading after Berlin. In the Cold War Zombies reveal trailer, the Die Maschine intro cutscene, you see these 4 locations: Die Maschine, Firebase Z, Outbreak, and Berlin. But other than that, we don't know where else we could go. So, we'll have to see what we get here very soon. Leave your ideas down below. What are new original map locations that you could see us going to based on the intel, based on stuff in the game, based on stuff the characters are saying? We'll talk about that more in a future video. I'll use a bunch of your guys' ideas from the comment section down below. But now let's talk about the release schedule, because it's very important. How do these extra maps even fit in a normal DLC season for Black Ops Cold War? A year 2 of Cold War Zombies that brings us into 2022 is an absolute must to see any of these extra round-based maps. Think about how far apart these round-based maps are in Cold War Zombies right now. From Firebase Z to Berlin, the gap is 133 days, over 4 months. If you have the expected release date for Berlin at the beginning of Season 4, which is around June 17th, add 133 days to that, DLC 3 brings us to late October, October 28th. That is so late. So that means in the entirety of Cold War Zombies, we're only getting 3 DLC round-based maps if they keep up the same pace that they're going at right now. Even if we extend this pace into a second year of Cold War Zombies into 2022, look at how tight this is. So from DLC 3, which is late October, to DLC 4, that brings us to March 10th, 2022. That could be a Die Rise remake. We have DLC 4 to DLC 5, which brings us to July 21st. DLC 5 could be a Buried remake. And then finally, DLC 5 to DLC 6, which brings us to December 1st, 2022. That could be the Tranzit remake, but that's already way too late. So if they keep up this 133-day gap, this 4-month gap in between round-based maps, we can't even get a Tranzit remake in a second year, because at that point, December 2022, Modern Warfare 2, the sequel, will already be out, and that would be a year 3 of Cold War Zombies. I don't know if they're going that far with this game, so something has to happen here. This gap needs to shrink. This gap needs to shorten very quickly, because we just don't have time to see these extra maps even in a year 2 of this game. What we see for the rest of this year, year 1 of Cold War Zombies, will be very important to see how that's going to impact year 2. If we do end up getting 2 to 3 more extra round-based maps just in this year, that opens up the door for us to see even more in year 2. If we only get Berlin this year and 1 more round-based map, DLC 3 in October, then that's going to be kind of scary, but we don't know for sure what we're going to see yet. But again, we're kind of just talking about remakes here. Are there room for other original new maps that could be added to the game? The Dark Aether storyline really doesn't seem like it's over yet, unless they just completely tell it through Outbreak and Zombie Chronicle 2 remade maps, and there's just no more new round-based maps that tell the storyline. I just think there needs to be at least 2 more new maps to continue this storyline in a proper way. And again, for that to happen, the gap between these round-based maps needs to decrease significantly to get this stuff. And if it does, we just have so much more room to see new round-based maps and also even more remakes added to the game. The Wu lads back in Black Ops 4 revealed to us, credible leakers back then, by the way, they told us that, there's a lot of other plans that Treyarch has for zombies. Here's just some of the stuff they talked about in terms of remakes. So we keep on getting asked about zombies in 2019, 2020. Zombies will continue on Black Ops 4 outside of the first Black Ops pass. Chaos is finished for this season, but not for Black Ops 4. Ether will be for the rest of the season, as you know. Maps in production will be listed in the following tweet. So we have Nuketown, Call of the Dead, which we got already, Green Run, Tranzit, Die Rise, Buried. We're getting that very soon, obviously. We talked about these maps are planned to have their own Gauntlet, Grief, and possibly Turned modes. Hopefully, they do port this over to Cold War as well. To see Gauntlet, Grief, and Turn modes on all the Cold War zombie maps would be super cool. And also, the second season of BO4 Zombies will have 2 more Chaos maps. And again, we're not getting these chaos maps in, Cold War Zombies. There's no way that's happening there. It's a whole different storyline, but unfortunately, we're never going to see those 2 extra chaos maps in the game. But other maps that were supposed to be remade or remastered here, 5 and Mob of the Dead, may be faithfully remastered too, instead of reimagined as they currently are on Black Ops 4. This is subject to development changes. Call of the Dead is also planned to be a faithful remaster, whereas Tranzit is planned to be a bit more unique. This is kind of crazy. So on top of that, 5 and Mob, which we saw in BO4 remade, was also planned on being remastered. I think especially Mob of the Dead, people would love to see that faithfully remastered and thrown into Cold War Zombies. That would be so insanely cool. If they have extra time, I would definitely love for them to do that here. Call of the Dead being a faithful remaster is kind of cool as well. It was a remake in BO4. To see that again as its original form would be kind of interesting. Transit, I think it's not surprising. It makes perfect sense as to why that map would be a bit more unique, a bit more of a remake instead of a faithful remaster. I think most people don't really want to see Transit in the exact same way it was back in BO2. We want to see Transit as it was originally intended on being made back then. We've gone through so many leaks about how many ideas and plans they originally had for Transit that they couldn't do because of console limitations with the PS3 and Xbox 360. They didn't have the technology, the dev teams, the support that they do now. So Transit now in Cold War, after all of these years, definitely is going to be a lot different, a lot more improved. Bus Route B, all new locations, and for sure, we're going to make separate videos talking about how many things they could do to Transit to make it a really fun map in this game, but that all does make sense. So again, if we do get these shortened gaps here between round-based maps, that opens the door to see in a year 2 of Cold War Zombies a bunch of other remakes like the 5 and Mob faithful remastered maps and Transit, Barry, Die Rise, and all of these different maps. And again, it's not all about remakes. I do still want to see original new maps, but to see these on Cold War Zombies engine, which I think, and a lot of people do agree, I know COD Zombies HQ was talking about this engine is just really nice for zombies, but we're just seeing a lack of survival maps in the game. So to have that together would be really sick. But again, we don't know for sure what they're doing here. It seems like we are getting the Zombie Chronicle 2 maps. The other maps, we don't know. Any other original maps, we don't know for sure, but it's very likely that we do get a lot more support. Zombies in Cold War, very, very popular. I think it's one of the most popular, if not the most popular zombies mode in Treyarch history. So that means that Activision's going to look at this and they're going to say, we are supporting this mode. In regards to Call of Duty 2021 World War II Vanguard having zombies, I think Activision, it just makes perfect sense for them to look at what we have right now and see, okay, zombies in Cold War, super popular. Why are we going to stop that and let World War II Vanguard have zombies and risk it not being as popular, nowhere near as popular as it is right now in Cold War? It just makes perfect sense for them to do the year 2 here in this case, and we've had several leaks about them doing just that, a year 2 instead of World War II being the main game. And first of all, Warzone is the main game here. World War II Vanguard, it's going to have a release. It's going to be a big deal, but really, we're all under Warzone. And right now, if you look at it, it's really all about what has the biggest player base. So in the past, if there was a new Call of Duty releasing, we would say there's no way they're going to support an older Call of Duty. The new Call of Duty is always going to be the main game they care about. Even if it isn't as good as the previous game, they always have to move on to the next game in the series. That's just not the case anymore, and it makes, again, perfect sense for them to continue the Cold War Zombie season into a year 2. So that's pretty much it here for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave your comments down below, your opinions on this. Do you think we're going to see more round-based maps? If we do get more this year, we could see more next year if they keep this 133-day pace, this 4-month pace in between round-based maps. It's looking kind of scary, but again, we don't know if that's actually going to happen. Do you want to see Call of Duty 2021 have zombies? Do you want them to try it out instead of Cold War continuing with their mode and the Dark Ether story? Let me know your opinions on that down below. Thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a comment down below, zombies. If you watch the entire video, it is greatly appreciated. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.